Good day to everyone. It's your host, Assault Rifle, back at it again with another segment of Comfortable Roomies, the podcast where we sit down at the bathroom and talk about thoughts that are either heavy, light, or random. And today, as I was sitting down doing the deed, my thoughts were about how I missed going outside. You know, visiting the beach, going to parks, and playing outside. Then it hit me with our topic for today. The water gushing out of the sink, the garden that has wonderful plants. I'm talking about dear nature. As COVID 19 hit human society and slowed down its advancements, Mother Nature continued its course of existence and being an important factor to us. But it seems like our ever growing species of humanity isn't really a good thing for dear Mother Nature. There are many people that seem to not understand how their little to drastic actions affect our fauna and flora. We'll go through and try to understand this growing problem with the assistance of today's guest speaker, Mr. Harry Balzac, a naturalist researcher from the Only Fauna organization,
I'm Harry Balzac, and I'm a naturalist researcher at Only Fauna.
and Mr. Sagon Nuts, a marine life biologist from the Sangonomia Marine Group, or SMG for short. Uh,
Hi, I'm Sagon Nuts from the Sangonomia Marine Group.
you two can turn your camera on. Happy to have the both of you here. Hello, boys. Before we start,
Hello!
here's-
Very hero.
Hello,
before we start,
hello.
here's a clip from today's sponsors, Valorant from Riot Games.
What's up, fellow non-grass touchers? Have you ever just sat around thinking, oh, I'm so bored, bruh. I wanna do something that'll make me have fun, or that'll trigger something inside me to do something productive for once? Well, I have the game that does not solve all of those problems, but will entertain you.
Hello!
This is an unnecessary ad, but have you ever wanted to play a game that sucks so bad that it makes you addicted to it? Here comes Valorant! Valorant is a 5v5 tactical shooter. And I say tactical like that because there isn't one game in a Valorant competitive match that you won't get running headshot one tap with a Vandal by 50 meters away and they'll make you pissed enough to smash your glass table. Valorant is a 5v5 tactical shooter game that allows you to choose up to how many ever agents are there because we don't even know how much we have right now, as they always add a new agent every what like act or something. I don't even know. You know what? To prove that Valorant is a really good product, let's ask these satisfied customers. Okay, so here's an avid fan of Valorant right here. What can you say about Valorant, the 5v5 tactical shooter that
Valorant is so bad. Why would they make a game?
I think he likes Valorant? So what's up, avid fan and fellow appreciator of Valorant? How do you say Valorant is for you?
Sir, I don't even have Valorant.
He also very much likes Valorant. So I heard you're an avid fan, and
Valorant, yes, that a game. It's very good, cause like you have the creativity to like it gives you like.
what a nerd! I'm not gonna talk to that guy. Try Valorant right now for $9.99. Oh wait, no, it's for free. So we know you'll enjoy the game. You'll probably buy all of the skins they have. They have a freaking dragon. They have the most edgy skin they have ever. So go down it right now and never be bored again.
And we're back. Okay, first of all, introductions. Mr. Harry, talk about your group, the Only Fauna organization, and what it does.
Yeah.
Mr. Balzac.
Alright. Thank you. Only Fauna was founded by none other than our chairman herself, Miss Sirius Fauna. This org aims to preserve and conserve bio and ecological diversities. We believe in basic master race, not the computers, but to preserve and conserve.
How about you, Sir These Nuts?
As we all know, this group was originally a protest rally of sorts from people who were dissatisfied with how marine life was depicted. And Miss Kokomi Sangonomiya transformed this angry mob into a movement to be able to help out the waters of the mystifying deep. This group aims to save marine life in the Philippines, clean out and reduce pollution from our bodies of water, and to preserve the natural beauties such as the coral reefs from destruction.
Thank you to the both of you. Okay, so here's my very first thought. Um, what was it again? What about this nature? Why is it going down? What is the root cause of all of these? Where is the origin? Would you like to go first, Sir These Nuts?
Well, for me, in my opinion, the root cause of this problem is solely because of us. We cause this damage to our environment because of different reasons. We pollute the air with smokes from machines and cigars. We kill marine life because we invade their waters with garbage and dynamites. We are destroying the plants, trees, and animals because we are too greedy. We want to earn more, and well, basically, we don't stop. We have to control ourselves.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Sir Balzac?
Yes, I in fact do. My opinion, humans in the Earth had coexisted for 200,000 years ago, and the Earth didn't suffer from our actions during that period of time. And anything else, we helped the environment during those periods of time. Everything went down after the age of the Industrial Revolution. The rise of technology, infrastructure, and corporations is what led to this very situation. However, I don't think that technology and nature can coexist, nor humans and nature. We can coexist with nature, but we in a way we must change our lifestyle.
Okay. Then next thing I want to ask about this. Are there different points of views to this? Surely there are those that think they can do nothing about it, right? And those examples, such.
May I go first?
Sir, yes, take the floor.
Yes, do.
All
Please
right.
do.
All right. Yes, you are right. There are those who feel like they can do anything about it. There are those who feel helpless. There are those who are careless. There are those who try to commit but are overwhelmed by the events and situations where it almost seems like there's no point in trying anymore, and that they start to just not give a flap about anything anymore, just give up in trying. And I wouldn't blame anyone like that. If you believe in trying, if you try to do something, and the problem is too big for one person to solve, where you would feel overwhelmed, that at some point you'd feel like, what's the point anymore? I can't do anything, and it's not like my actions will help in any way. So people every day are being driven to that kind of mindset, because the situation right now is just too drastic that people don't bother to take action. And then of course there are still those who are still trying to preserve and prevent pollution as much as they could, and are still trying to be optimistic.
Very good point, Mr. Balsat. How about you, Sir Nuts? Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Um, well, yes, there are many points of views to this. There are people who'd actually just what you call it. There are people who do give up, yes, but then there are also those who actually don't want to help at all. Some don't really have care for it, like those people who just move on with their daily lives, not really caring for anything. They don't care if they do that. They don't care if they do this. Some actually just want just too greedy. Those who want to gain more without consequences, that they just don't think about it. They just do things without thinking, without preserving or anything. And there are also those who want to really help out. Those who, like us, our entire group, we what you call it? We revolted basically. We were very what's the word? We were dissatisfied with what the government, what everyone was doing. So we decided to act up and complain about it, and also do something about it. Well, we are thankful for our founder to be able to organize us, to be able to do something for the better.
Very inspirational. Then on to the next thought. Next thought. Why is nature that important? You see this on the news everywhere. What happens if forest burns down? Why marine life is valuable? What makes this issue so worrying and terrifying and big? Who would like to take the floor first? Okay, Sir Disnuts, carry on.
Well, the reason why this issue is so big, the reason why we do need nature is because yes, we need nature solely to survive, and because it is where we live. All our resources and needs come from nature. The food we eat, the air we breathe, the water we drink. Simple as that. But there's also more. Things we find here are creatures, the creatures here are not meant to be hunted, not meant to be killed. They aren't livestock. They are exotic creatures that we want to study more. We want to see them grow. We want to learn more about. We don't just like kill them or anything. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't destroy anything from our environment. That's as beautiful as that, what we consider to be beauty anyways.
Yes. What makes this issue worrying so big? I'm pretty sure that even a 5-year-old child couldn't tell how problematic this situation can accelerate to, or how it can be. This is a global issue that affects everyone. We're not the only ones who are living here on Earth. Hundreds, if not thousands, of other animal species will perish because of our actions. We destroy ecosystems and biodiversity. Earth is our home. We should take care of our home so that it will continue to be in good condition, not only for us, but for the entirety of this planet. Everything that's living in this planet is for its own benefit.
Very good remarks there, Sir Balzac and Sir These Nuts. For our next question, what are the effects of damaging our natural environment? Who would like to give it a go? Okay, Sir These Nuts, the floor is yours.
The effects of our environment deteriorating is, in general, you could say it's a slow death. People would be sicker, ailments would plague us, we will starve because we also destroy the same source of needs for every animal. The waters would carry disease and wouldn't be as good for our bodies. The world might strive, yes, for artificial substitutes, but that could only carry us so far. Artificial substitutes are basically not that beneficial for our body, because in the long run they might mutate some cells and genes and whatnot and cause some problems within the body that it's basically evolution but backwards.
Would you like to continue? Is there anything you'd like to add, Sir Balzac?
Why, yes. In fact, I have quite a lot to add. The effects of pollution, they're quite numerous, if I must say. You see, the effects of pollution, it's a domino effect. If it's one big disaster or one small disaster, accelerating to a bigger and bigger, and it's basically a chain reaction. It just goes around. The more stuff, like let's say, air pollution. Okay, what happens with air pollution? The air we breathe in becomes intoxicated, and if that happens, well, we'd have a harder time breathing or finding it safe to breathe in our very own atmosphere. Perhaps the pollution in the air would cause more, what do you call this? It will add in more in climate change. The greenhouse effect will also accelerate because of the air pollution. And for water pollution, of course, plastics being on the sea or trash in general is really harming our ecological and biodiverse habitats underwater. Coral reefs, the fishes, everything. And what Mr. Secondis Nuts said, uh, in general, a slow death. People would be sicker. Ailments will plague us. We will starve because we will be destroyed the source of every needs of animal. What he meant by there, right, the waters could carry disease and wouldn't be as good as for our bodies. This is actually happening now. There's a thing called microplastics. The very plastic that we use for our daily lives ending up in the stomachs of other animals. And when that happens, we fish those animals and we eat those animals with the same plastic that we used to put on those animals. So like these fishes or just any meat right now, specifically processed meat, is carrying a lot of microplastics. And this microplastic can be detrimental to our health in the future. As of now, it doesn't seem to prove any negative effects on us. However, it is still concerning regardless. So the effects, very drastic.
Very interesting information you got there. Um, since I've only been asking about what I want to ask about this, I also want to see what you two think about this. Like, what are things that we can do? Obviously, you two work for amazing organizations that do something massive for the country. But what about us, the people, the common folk that don't really work hard as you two?
Very
Okay.
tense.
What are the things we can do, obviously, to work for amazing ourselves for country? Well, as common people or people who don't work for big organizations like us, there's a lot that you can do. While it may seem little, which it is, it still is contributes. There's a saying that every little thing counts. So I believe in that. Just practicing recycling, using the 3 R's, changing your lifestyle into a more green way. What they say, going green, which is switching to a more eco-friendly lifestyle, like avoiding plastic bags, avoiding the usage of plastic in general. I don't know, finding substitutes of plastics. Turning off your AC, turning off your lights so you don't emit as much. It's not much, but it's honest work. Uh, that's already enough as you could do.
Good answer. Good answer. Well, for on my hand, what the common people can do um to save our environment right now is to as Mr. Harry Balzac said, live a clean life. And for me, what a clean life is basically being able to live a healthy life, not having any trash around you, like that. You recycle a lot, which will help the environment greatly, because for every trash you have, it might there's usually a dead marine species out there who just ingested one of your trashes. Then if you start recycling, the entire world will be grateful, because one, our oceans will be cleaner. We have lots of fish, and as he said from his research, there are microplastic from animals as found. So if we reduce the number of plastics we use, we're basically making these animals healthier, a lot more. Well, if we're eating it, then fresh, yes, it will be better for our bodies, and it will also save an exotic species, as I once said. Then there's also stop throwing your trash on the ground, please. Like this the same thing that just kills our trees. You put your plastic under those trees, they don't exactly help the trees. They're not like natural stuff. like food, your crap. You don't bury those underground, and it will help the trees like natural fertilizer. Plastics or anything artificial usually will kill trees, and of course other animals on land. For example, your cow could be eating, your livestock could be eating something that's very artificial, bad for them. It could deteriorate their entire health, and if someone were to put that on sale for of course consume for consumptions, that person would become unhealthy as well. They'd start getting sick, they'd feel weak, they'd feel tired, and then they'd pass that to the next generation and to the next generation. What would happen? Well, the next generation of people, or humans as I'd like to call it, um, would basically be suffering. They'd be suffering slowly and slowly until they become, well, just nearly dead, basically. Everyone's lifespan is decreasing, and so we have to keep our environment clean in order for us to keep surviving and to live, and so that we can coexist with nature itself, its animals, its plants, its trees, the ocean, so that we can all, like, well, be happy. Oh, and for a bonus, if you stop using plastic as much, you're basically bring down a lot of corporations who um, also trash the marine life by throwing chemicals in there. So by making them bankrupt, we basically help the marine life, and you also help us, the marine organization, because we also hated them. Why do you think we revolted?
It seems like you have a very deep hatred for plastic. Let me see if I have a plastic bottle near me just to show you. Would this trigger you, perhaps?
I mean, I also use plastic. I use plastic, but I recycle
You
it.
caught that
I
I
recycle it, okay?
Oh, you
I
recycle.
recycle.
Okay, okay. Very ethical of you.
But I prefer glass bottles. They're cooler. They're way cooler.
That sounds rich coming from you. So anyways, once again, thank you for joining our podcast here, Mr. Balsack, from the Only Fauna organization, and Mr. D's Nuts from the Sangonomiya Marine Group. Um, the insights you have given us are very greatly appreciated, as it may affect even the littlest spark of curiosity to our viewers right now. I'm talking to you guys, my dear viewers. To end it all, we will present a very short presentation of what we have gathered and some facts about what we have discovered about natural life in the Philippines. And that will be again for today. Thank you for joining our podcast, to the both of you and to our dear viewers. And I will see you all next time. Hold up, let me just finish my flush. And I'm good. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us, and we'll be on our way.